Well, I'm back on the AT. First time in 3 years since we finished in 2019. This time I'm doing a solo section hike. We have a dog, so it's impossible for the two of us to go. She's a little bit difficult, but I plan to try to do 32 miles. Want to do Woody Gap, where I started, and looking to get to the base of Blood Mountain today. Had to work today, it's Friday, so I had to finish my job and drive out here. So I started hiking about 3:15. So I'm hoping to get 7 or 8 miles before 7:30 or 8. Set up camp right there at the base of Blood Mountain. And that'll be day 1. And then tomorrow I'm looking to do about 16, and then the next day about 8 miles. You know, I've never done this before. It's kind of weird. I've never done it by myself. Never hiked the trail by myself before, so this is kind of weird. Anyway, I'm going to video a little bit, but we're going to keep it pretty simple this time. In 2019, when I hiked this way, it was February, so there wasn't a leaf on the tree. Totally different atmosphere hiking this in August. It's almost, in a way, it's almost creepy where it becomes kind of a tunnel and it's all wrapped around you, and kind of feel like anything could jump out of the woods at any time. I'm going at just about 2 miles an hour. It's been a while since I've been on the trail. I don't know if my face is probably beet red, but it's working me out pretty good. At this rate, I think I could actually camp on top of Blood Mountain, be there by 7:30 or 8, which it still would give me about a half hour before sunset. So I'm thinking of doing that. I'm a little nervous. I got a new tent I've never camped in before. It's a tent pole, or a hiking pole tent. So I'm a little nervous because I've never used one before. But I guess what makes me nervous is the wind, the possible wind up on top of the mountain. But it'd be really awesome to get a sunset on top of Blood Mountain and a sunrise on top of Blood Mountain. So we'll see. If I'm up to it, I'll go to the top of Blood Mountain. If not, I think I should easily make it to the camp that's on the base, Slaughter Creek. That's at the base of Blood Mountain. Genius. Well, I made it to Girard Gap by 6:45. So I guess I've done about 5.6 miles. This is how you find ticks. Well, I made it to Woods Hole Shelter. There's water down there. And I'm running a little bit low. But supposed to be some more water about a half mile up here. I know I'm pushing a little too hard for today, but I want to get to the top of Blood. So I did make it all the way up to the top of Blood Mountain, but it is raining tonight. Sort of got my bear bag hung in a pretty weak spot, but there weren't a lot of tall trees, and I was chasing the rain, trying to get in my tent before it started raining. So far, it doesn't appear to have any leaks on this tent. Like I said, I have a new tent. I got a Lanshan one. Didn't want to spend the $600 on a fancy tent, and I'd never used a trekking pole tent, so I picked this thing up for $90. So far I kind of like it. Doesn't appear to have any leaks or anything like that. I left Woody Gap at 3:15, and I got up to the top of Blood Mountain around 7, maybe even before 7. just over 8 miles. So I definitely pushed myself more than I should have. I mean, I don't hike, I don't work out, I don't do anything. And it was hot and sweaty. But anyway, just wanted to check in. I'm going to bed. Good night. It's always so much more amazing in person. Oh, 7:30 in the morning, back on the trail. Packed up in about an hour or so, hour and a half if you count the time that I went running around looking for a sunrise. Seems like a breezy, nice day. We'll see what it's like when we get off the mountain. Glad I came out to hike because never trust the weather report. They said it was going to rain all weekend, and it only rained a little bit last night so far. So good trip so far. I wasn't feeling super great this morning, so I decided to have some combos for breakfast, left over from last night. My stomach was a little messed up, and hopefully I'll get to feeling a little bit better. I think I already am. Bad news, Yellow Jacket's right in the middle of the trail. Hiker that I crossed tipped me to it. I better keep moving. I love hearing the birds. Sweet camp spot, 1 mile past the summit of Blood Mountain. Good to remember. This is such a beautiful area right here. Coming up to the top out of Neal's Gap. I just love this area. Looks so different than when we were here in the winter. It's just beautiful. Neal's Gap is that way, and I'm headed this way. I love ridge walking. Get a nice breeze. I'm not getting the views because of the fog, but it's definitely keeping it cooler for me, so that's good. Here's the view from Wolf Laurel Top. Pretty sweet camp spot up here. Water's so surprisingly scarce out here. I guess that's what happens at the end of the summer. When I was at Neal Gap, though, I went ahead and kind of filled up everything I had. I didn't fill up my bladder, but I filled up a 1 liter smart water bottle and a 24-ounce smart water bottle. And I'm just going to kind of ration it. Not a big deal for me, but for those who get nervous if they run out of water, it's something to think about. Pretty sure this is where we ate lunch back. I'm pretty sure this is where we ate lunch back in 2019. I'm pretty sure this is where we ate lunch back in 2019. Cow Rock, right across from whatever this is, because I can remember seeing that. And just like that, the view is gone. Clouds just rolled in. It's kind of funny. I was told that there's a possibility there could be rain between 12 and 2. Well, here we are around 12 and I got sunshine. It's so crazy in the mountains how it's never what they say. That's all right though. I appreciate a little sunshine. Awesome. The second best kind of free cash. Just came down the mountain to Tesnati Gap. And we're about to head up some nasty switchbacks over here. Raven Cliffs, I remember you. This is a nightmare. I know it didn't show any, but that was just as hard as I remember. Steps and switchbacks the whole way. Well, I'm rolling into Hogpen Gap now. And I don't know, I think it's about 1 o'clock. Oh, it's 1:15. I still got another, shoot, I don't know, I think 5 miles to go, or 7 miles or something. That's all good. That means I just got to go about 1 mile per hour. And a little over that, and I can get there by 6 or 7 at that pace. And I think this section's supposed to be easy. I actually heard that after Hogpen Gap, a big chunk of it was a wagon trail back in the day. So come on now, how hard can a wagon trail be, right? Entering a new wilderness. Headed toward Low Gap. I want to go a little bit past Low Gap if possible. And then tomorrow, I'll be meeting Julie at Unicoi. Here's where we camped in 2019. I feel like we camped like up here somewhere or something. It's starting to rain and I'm at Low Gap, so this might be the house for tonight. All right, I took a little break, got a little water, and I just don't want to be at Low Gap. I want to be higher up where I might have some service. It's only 2 more miles, so I'm gonna go for it. Hopefully I won't get rained on. I got my pack cover on, so it's ready to go. But hopefully the rain holds off and I can get my tent up. Otherwise, whatever. It's only rain, right? If I were a guessing man, I'd say this portion is the spot that was a wagon trail, just due to how wide it is from the edge of this incline to the drop off there. It's like you could fit a wagon down here maybe back in the day. I don't know. It's just what I heard. This is the first spring on the trail that I've seen that's actually gushing. Most everything's dry. I'm gonna go dip a sweat rag in it, I believe. Oh, that's nice. I do have a little rain falling on me, but it's super light. It actually feels good. Hopefully, it'll stay just like this, and I'll be able to hike the whole way to where I wanted to stop. I may stop short if the rain gets a little bit heavier. I think it's called Poplar Stamp is the first place that I kind of wanted to stop, but I really wanted to go about 0.7 past that. There's supposed to be some really nice campsites about 0.7 past it, but we'll just see. We'll see how it pans out. So I made it to Horse Trough Mountain campsites. Never really did rain. It drizzled on me. It actually felt good. So I actually pushed the last 2.4 miles. I don't know, I did it in about an hour, probably less. Whew, and it really took the last bit out of me. And I didn't have to push because it never really did rain. But anyway, I'm just under 8 miles away from Unicoi, which I'll be able to easily hit tomorrow. I think I'll be done around 12 or 1. But anyway, found a pretty nice little campsite. Nice and flat. No water, but good night. All right, so it took me about a half hour to tear down camp here. Got about 8 miles to go today, 7:15. Want to get there by noon. My feet are feeling like blisters are coming. Makes me nervous. I've got maybe 12 ounces of fresh water. My Sawyer makes the water taste like junk. If I even pass a spring that has any water, I'll probably just drink it and hope for the best. I mean, people do that a lot.
what are the chances that I do it one time that it actually makes me sick? But anyway, I'm gonna hit the trail. May not see much video from me because I really just want to get there. Had a lot of fun. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably start at Neil Gap, knock about 8 hours off of it so I wouldn't have to push so hard yesterday. But I really wanted to get over Blood to see the views, and unfortunately because of the rain I didn't even see any views. So whatever. I'm glad I did this chunk. I was nervous that I wouldn't be able to do it at all, and I did it, so that's cool. I'll see you in a little bit. So this is my last chance of water. I climbed up all the way up to here to get it. I got a liter and about 12 ounces in my bottle from yesterday, and I think that should be plenty. Here's a campsite about 1.5 miles past Poplar Stamp. That's real nice. I'm beat today. Glad it's only 3 days. Glad it's a section hike. I miss Julie. She really helps protect me from myself. Like we would have never hiked this much in one quick setting. If I was doing the trail like right now, full trail, I'd never make it. I just wouldn't have the, I don't know, I'd just push myself too hard and burn myself out and I'd quit, probably. At least that's how I feel today. If I had to go again tomorrow, I'd quit today. So I'm glad it's almost over. It's always great to be out here, but man, it's hard. It's really hard. I love nature though. And the breeze feels super awesome on this ridgeline. Don't really have any views, but it's downhill that way, downhill that way. Nice ridgeline, nice breeze. It's about 8:40. I'm gonna stop for breakfast. Got about 5 miles to go. That's the last of my fresh water. After this, it's spring water. If I get sick, it probably won't be today anyway, so. I'm at Chattahoochee Gap, and I'm headed that way. I remember this area, they called it the Emerald Forest. In the winter though, it's so much more pretty because you don't see all the plants, all you see are the rocks with all this green algae on it. And it's just really cool looking. Now it almost just looks like woods. I'm pretty sure this is where we camped when we were on the AT. In our videos, we were out there somewhere. And in the morning we did like a slow-mo of our tent as we were shaking it out and did some stretches and stuff. If I wasn't so tired, I'd go down there. Just saw 2 bears, 2 cubs. I don't see them anymore, but I scared them. Got me all amped up though. A little different than Shenandoah. Shenandoah, they come up to you and they want to hug you, but here, those two boogers hauled booty. 2 bears, 4 snakes. The snakes were all like 12 inches or less, tiny little baby snakes. Those cubs look tiny too, big dog size, but a bear, so fat. There's Mr. Bear. I'm out of here. I'm booking it. That's maybe 30 feet away. Where there's a baby, there's a mama. I'm out. Here we are at Blue Mountain Shelter. Shoot, those bears I saw were 0.2 of a mile back, and I tried to book it, but I'm so worn out, I couldn't book it. I didn't see Mom. I just passed a trail runner, actually a guy running with some poles, and I hear him slapping his sticks down there, but I'm gonna take a break here at Blue Mountain Shelter nonetheless, even though we're close to those bears. I'm glad I saw them today and not yesterday or the day before. I'd have been really worried while sleeping out here. Anyway, gonna take a break here, a couple miles to go. Well, I was gonna take like a half-hour break at the shelter, but those bears were about 2 tenths from the shelter, and now I'm a little spooked, and the last thing I want to do is bust out a sweet smelling Snickers bar or something. So, just gonna move on. I'll be a little bit early, but I'd rather keep all my appendages than be late, than be on time. It's 11:30 or 10:30. It's 10:30. I'm on top of Blue Mountain. I just got the 1.4 or 1.5 mile descent into Unicoi Gap, and then this little section trip is over.